All right, so I'm Jason Yarusi, and this is your weekly webinar. So again, I'm Jason Yarusi of Yarusi Holdings. We're a multifamily investment firm here in Tennessee. Today we are talking about due diligence. Once you are under contract, going to the closing of your multifamily asset, some of the steps that you will undertake when you are performing your due diligence on the property. So again, I'm Jason Yarusi, Yarusi Holdings. This is your weekly webinar. We do these each and every Thursday, bringing you every and each topic you can think about, helping you take your multifamily journey from an idea into action. If you like what you hear, make sure you go down there, hit that follow button so you get alerted each and every week that we have webinars upcoming. So today we're talking about due diligence, what to do, what is it, and why you need this as part of your multifamily journey. So a lot of excitement comes under board here. You've done the work, you've analyzed your property, you've gone through your questions, you've negotiated, you've come to a contract, and now you are performing your due diligence on the property. You are going to fall under three buckets that you're going to undertake on your journey to make sure that the conclusions or the assumptions that you've now made on your property match up for what is actually happening on the property. And the buckets it's going to fall into are physical, financial, and environmental. So first we'll talk about the physical. This is you visiting the property, or your team or your inspectors visiting the property and performing a physical inspection on the property. This is both going to be on the exterior and the interior of the property. The exterior may be to check on the facade, check on the roofs, check on any of the infrastructure, check on the mechanicals, the sewer lines, any of the roadways, the parking lots, to make sure that you are really understanding what you're buying. This is also going to match up with the capital expenditure budget that you've now underwritten in part of your proposal, and it can do a couple things. Either it can validate your assumptions, or it can change your CapEx budget, whether it be for the better or for the worse. Maybe your CapEx budget gets lighter because as you get out there and some of the assumptions you've made on the property from some of the pictures or some of the initial walks are less as severe as you've now underwritten to. On the other side, it could have gotten worse, and this can come back where this could really either give you more context of how you need to allocate buckets for your capital expenditure, or becomes a conversation that you have to bring back to the seller that it's not really matching up with what they had told or what they had relayed that is need to be done on the property. The next is a unit inspection. This is where you will walk each and every unit to validate really the existing unit. And this can be everything from the condition of the unit, whether it be from the tenant side. Is the tenant clean? Do they smoke? Are the units really in disrepair? Do they have pets? Is there pest issues? What are the issues that are coming back from just the existing tenant base that's currently into these units? Also, it will validate your assumptions on some of the capital expenditures that you've now put into the unit renovations. Does it match up? Do you now have enough money set aside to be able to do the unit renovations that you want? And it can also give you real context if the comps that you've been using are going to match these comps. Are these units obsolete compared to the comps that you've been walking? Can these units be renovated for this cost? Will doing other things to these units that maybe you haven't thought of, whether it be tile backsplash or changing out the tubs, any of these other points that can help bring more money or bring more revenue to this property by making these adjustments. So that is the physical side of your due diligence. The next is the financial. The financial will be digging into everything that could be bank statements from the owner to match up that the revenue they say they are collecting is actually being collected. Or it can be going through the leases to making sure the leases are validated. The leases actually match up to the rent roll. The leases have the conditions that you will be taking on, and any of the other components. Going through any of the contracts that you will now have as part of the property. That can be everything from pest to trash, to landscaping, to cable, to laundry. Some of these contracts will survive the closing. So understanding what these contracts say and how they affect you and your purchase, so you understand your contingencies and what is going to be potentially your liability going forward on the property. Noting this, you can look at the financial to make sure what you have underwritten is actually matching up, and so you know your starting point is actually the starting point that you will take off with the property. And the last piece is environmental. This will come up from some of the phase one inspections, some of the environmental inspections, and it could be really where the bank may take this on, or you may choose to do this to see if there's any environmental concerns that have existed with the property. It could potentially be an issue going forward. It could be anything from, has there been any oil leaks in the past from neighboring properties? Or are you neighboring to a creek or to other wetlands that could potentially become a flooding issue or something else that could be an issue for you going forward into the future? So as you look at your property, you do want to break this out into 3 buckets. And those buckets, again, are physical, financial, and environmental. And if you can piece this together to understand exactly what it is that you are buying, what you are taking on, it's going to give you the best indication that you are properly preparing for the asset that you are about to purchase. So, hope that's helpful there. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments. Again, I'm Jason Yarusi of Yarusi Holdings. This is your multifamily webinar for this Thursday. Thank you so much for checking in with us. Again, go down there, leave us a comment, make sure you hit that follow button. If you have questions for us, feel free to reach out. Our team will get back to you quickly. Let's do this.